And good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverET. Guys, we've got big news for you today. Apparently, Trump has already written his disclosure statement, and apparently he's being pushed to do it because he's worried that other countries are going to get there first. This is definitely on the agenda. If he's already written his speech, that's quite big, guys. That's quite big. We're going to listen to who, why. We should probably take that seriously, and then we're going to go into even more evidence of these UAP over Marina del Rey, because News Nation and Ross Coulthart have been talking about it, guys. Apparently they've been doing investigations around Catalina Island, which is not far from Marina del Rey at all. I'll bring it up on the map now. Literally just a few miles away once you leave that ocean, and you're at Catalina Island. And this is where Robert Shipe at Custodian File have been recording UAP for the past 8 years. He's been getting radio hits. He's been fairly confident they've been coming out of the ocean. I think there's been one or two clips where we've seen objects appearing from above the ocean and we have no idea where they're coming from. And recently I've caught a point of reference on one of his captures as well, and it looks like they're actually coming out of the marshland as well. So in my opinion, I feel like these objects are flying through the earth itself, and whether it be through the water or through the earth, there's something underground in that area that's attracting these things, that are keeping these things there. And so we're going to look at the Ross Coulthart report on News Nation. Really, really cool stuff, guys. This is literally the tipping point. If Trump has prepared a speech for disclosure and they are now starting to talk about what's going on over that coastline, this is moving fast, guys, faster than I thought. The evidence is credible for anyone who's on the fence with these things. They thought they were bugs and birds. Maybe this will convince you. Maybe this will convince you, knowing full well that reporters and investigators are spending time and money flying over that area just to try and figure this out. So guys, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's see what Mark Christopher Lee's got to say, because he is the man who apparently knows someone in the US who was told that Donald Trump has written a speech. Let's get into it. All right, so Mark Christopher Lee, I met this guy earlier last year. We went to a screening in London for a documentary regarding UFOs, and yeah, he's trying to get well involved. I'm going to support him as best as I can, but this is what he had to say last night.
Okay, this is mind-blowing. This is amazing. I wanted to do this post to let you know, to share the news. I was contacted last night by an insider from Washington, D.C., from the Trump administration, who told me basically that President Trump has already written his speech, his statement that he will give about UFO disclosure this year. It was originally scheduled for September at the United Nations Assembly. He has been authorized, apparently, by the world's leaders to give this speech, but he's a bit wary that China and Russia may jump the gun on him. So be prepared. We could get UFO disclosure, the truth, very, very soon. Maybe even in the next week or so. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. This is mind-blowing. It's a paradigm-shifting event that will change how we think about the world, ourselves, the religion, the universe, you name it. Okay, let me know your thoughts. This is going to happen. Trump will be the UFO disclosure president. Thank you.
Will he, or will someone else get there first? Look, I think he's well positioned. I think he's got a lot of heat at the moment, and a good way to take it off would be to disclose. I think the timing is perfect. There's something else going on as well. There's all this talk in the news about Greenland and how it's important to him to take it. And he mentioned this right at the start of his administration as well, guys. He mentioned Greenland right at the start. Now he's trying to forcefully take it. A lot of people can't understand why, but I bet you any money it's something to do with this, because over that way, Greenland, the Antarctica, there's all this talk about hidden bases and stuff like that. I feel like they want to take full control of this area because of this topic, guys. I might be swinging for the fence there, but guys, think about what Mark Christopher Lee's just said, and if that comes true, then you can connect the dots, and sure enough, you'll figure this out. Really interesting. Thanks very much, Mark. Let's hope it all comes out, because there are some people in the community who are frustrated and just want the rest of the world to know, and there are people that just want to advance. People like myself, we just want to advance. We don't need to be told they're real. We know they're real. We just want more research done. Simple as that. We want to make a start. So thanks very much. All right, on to News Nation. And Ross Coulthart has had a few guests on this latest podcast. And look, guys, This is confirmation for anyone who didn't believe. This is confirmation for you that there are UAP flying over Marina del Rey and Catalina Island, between the oceans, coming out of the oceans. We can confirm they're also coming out of the marshes, coming out of the hard ground, guys. Crazy stuff. Let's have a listen to what Ross has got to say here.
As I understand it, in the course of your work that week, you did pick up, you won't call it an anomaly per se, but you picked up an ambiguity, which is essentially an admission that there was something scientifically unexplainable. What was it?
Correct. We found several ambiguities, as you say. My colleague, actually Kevin, thought of using that term, so I can't take credit for that. And so, what is an ambiguity? We say that's a potential anomaly that's not risen to the statistical and quantitative rigor to say that this is definitely not prosaic. So we saw several, but most were explained. There was camera noise. We saw the International Space Station, but the one that we didn't fully resolve was this strange dark spot on the camera with white speckles in it. Now, we write in the paper, it could have been a fly, something silly like a fly on the lens that took off from the camera lens, but that didn't fully explain all the facts. And so we left it as calling it an ambiguity, that when we compared it to the other sensors and we did some statistics on the probability of it, it didn't rise to being a statistically significant anomaly.
Okay, so Ben, let's bring you in. You were essentially, as a camera person, part of this UAPX expedition. Give us a bit of a background on Catalina Island. Why are we interested in Catalina Island? What's the history of Catalina Island? And why are we even looking for potential anomalies in and around that area?
Well, I think, Ross, that was the topic we first met on. This is years ago. And you came out, we got a boat, we went out to the channel. And I've been looking at this, we call it maybe the Channel Islands, Catalina Islands, this phenomena, this hotspot for probably the past 10 years. You could go way back. You could go back to the 1800s or beyond, but we have our first, I guess, video accounts of it back in the 60s. There's a famous case where a pilot that was flying for the, I believe it was the Coast Guard, he was flying a helicopter, was doing some filming and recorded an object flying over the backside. My area expertise, I went to Dr. Zadagas and I said, look, we're going to be going up in a plane. Our interviews, everything kind of pointed us to the idea that I think we should get up in the air and try to do a survey. But what do you survey with? We've got EMF fields, radiation, which I really know very little about. So the expert, Dr. Zadaga, said, well, we've got these particle detectors that we used actually in this Connecticut case. You might remember the police officer, with the orb.
Whoa, what are we doing? Whoa, dragon. Coming back. Obviously, well, right there, right underneath them. What the hell is that? A white orb?
That was over the reservoir. And in that case, we had tested this out. We used a plane. We went up and we tried to do kind of a grid pattern back and forth to see if we could get anything that was out of the baseline readings. So he lent them to me, gave me some basic instructions, and I had one of my team members, John, run that. And I'll let Dr. Zadagas explain when we turned over the data to him what he actually found.
Professor?
But for the sake of argument, let's say that it was actually in the sky and not like a fly on the lens. If we take that interpretation, he was able to map where that might have been in the clouds in the sky, and Ben flew his plane there with two cosmic watches. And what happened was crazy, in my opinion. So first, one of them didn't work at all. That was not anomalous because equipment just doesn't work. Equipment fails. It's not anomalous. But one was working. But very strange, Ben's going to show you a map later, is that when he got close to the area of that Kevin Knuth had mapped out geometrically, based again, on our famous hole in the sky, he didn't just experience GPS issues. That's a separate story. But we also found, when I looked at the data from the Cosmic Watch, it seemed to start rising faster than I would have expected naturally from cosmic rays with altitude. And then all of a sudden, the device just stopped working. And I've never seen it stop working in this exact failure mode. It just stopped taking data. And then when he left this roughly rectangular area, and when he's landing the plane, it resumed normal operation.
We told you. We told you. And I'm glad that the world are catching up. But look, these people knew about this 10 years ago. They knew. This isn't a secret anymore, but they're just willing to talk about it now. And this is why we should be looking at Dr. Shipe and his channel, because he's recording these things every day, every week. I'm on the phone to him every week. And it generally, even when I'm on the phone, he gets a capture radio hit. These things are real, guys. And we did speculate many moons ago that it's not just confined to Marina del Rey. Okay, and these guys are looking at Catalina Island because of the depths of the ocean and stuff. Yeah, they could be coming from Catalina Island and through below the ocean in the deepest waters. Absolutely, they could be. But this is a relatively large area, guys. So it's not just happening in the bay. It's happening all along that coastline, I believe. And I was saying to Doc how it'd be so interesting to see him recording a UAP outside Marina del Rey whilst having someone else recording just down the road over by Catalina. We have people all over that coastline as well. San Diego, Dax San Diego, he's been filming these things quite regularly. So guys, all along that coastline, we'd love to have someone in Malibu. If anyone is watching in Malibu, happens to have a property right off the coastline there, get in contact, maybe get your camera in the sky. Honestly, it's a hot spot. It's a really, really busy area. Just like myself, we've got busy areas as well. Not everyone's going to capture these things, guys, and you're not going to capture them every single time you get your phone out. You've got to be analytical, and you've really got to try and debunk your own footage as best as you can. And if you can't debunk it, then pass it on to us. Honestly, it's all about trying to be truthful and trying to be honest with yourselves. But look, we appreciate this, Ross. We appreciate the fact that you're mentioning this and that you're bringing it up, because this just confirms even further what Dr. Shipe's research really is saying to us. And guys, with that said, I really feel like I should show you at least one or two clips of UAP. It's funny and it's really interesting how they mention these little black dots on the screen shooting out white plasma jets, right? They didn't use the word plasma, but they said white jets coming out from the sides. And they struggled to work out what they were, and they went through a probability test, and turns out they're not anything they can explain easily. And yeah, look guys, they give off radio hits X and K band. That removes the bug situation completely. Not everyone has a radio detector to hand. But if you can get one off Amazon, 15 quid, point it in the direction that you're filming in, takes a power supply on the side there, plug it in, film in the direction, and a battery pack will work, guys, or like a Jackery or something. Plug it in when you're on your travels, it will turn on, start recording. You never know. If you capture something with a radio hit, then you know it's definitive, guys. And look guys, it's a big thing to get your head around. The fact that these, I believe, not only are they small reconnaissance vehicles, these UAP, I believe they're self-replicating. Okay, now I can't prove that, but I believe they are, and they are out there in large numbers, guys. The whole planet is being reconned. Crazy, hard to accept, I know, but just look at the UAP clips I'm overlapping now, guys. There's some incredible stuff that you guys are capturing, honestly, and I do believe that eventually people will be asked to record by government officials. I think it's just on the verge, guys. I really do. I'm going to share a clip now from Anna Paulina Luna on the Megyn Kelly show. All right, guys, on to X. And Anna Paulina Luna has been on the Megyn Kelly show. Again, just the other day, I shared a clip of David Grush talking to Megyn Kelly, and now Anna Paulina Luna is doing the same thing. Let's have a listen. Oh, by the way, I've decided to overlay some of your evidence onto this interview, because it's really great hearing from Congress people, right, talking about UAP, and they're always saying they're lacking the evidence. So I thought I'd just overlay some just to make the whole thing a little bit more legit. and also just to go over the bullshit, because she's struggling to get the information from the Department of War, and so I just wanted to add some evidence in there.
Do you know any of these guys, Representative? Because these quantum physicists that were all throughout this movie were very impressive, and they've been seriously and soberly trying to study this for some time.
Yeah, I believe I actually had gone into the skiff with one of them, and there are a number of other people who I think would back up these theories on it. Not to mention, when you're talking about a barrier or maybe something surrounding these things, there have been instances and reports from firsthand witnesses that these things do have a bubble, if you will call it that. But what's even kind of crazier to see, Megan, is that, you know, if this wasn't real, then why would the U.S. government or elements within the U.S. government be working so hard to make it difficult for us to say, okay, is this real? Is this not real? Can we see the evidence? The fact is that the pushback that we've received has been so incredibly obvious at this point that it just kind of furthers our own opinions on there are people that are controlling this information. And there does seem to be, even outside of the purview of, I think, sometimes our own secretaries who have the best intentions on declassifying this stuff, there is this internal intelligence battle on this topic.
There is a battle, and it's a shame that these guys can't get the evidence from the military. But they can ask us. They can ask us. We can provide some evidence. Happily do it. I know that you can't verify it without actually going around to the people and talking and checking the files, but we can provide all of that. It's only a matter of time, guys, before public evidence really is key, because there's more of us, there's more cameras, we cover more of the planet than any country in the world, and look, it's going to happen. All right, will Trump disclose? Let me know in the comments. Catalina Island, what's your thoughts on that? I personally can't wait to get over there, visit Doc. Maybe we can take a boat out there, Doc. You know, who knows? Maybe we can get a public funded boat to go out there and we can film the skies and see if we can find anything. But guys, I'm going to leave it there. Like and subscribe. As always, we do need your support. And remember, keep those cameras in the sky, keep them sideways, zoom in 10-20%, and see if you can't capture something, guys. We do need planes and helicopters being tagged. Point of reference is always good, guys. So if you're going to film low, make sure you've got house lines and tree lines there. You want point of reference. You need to be able to see these objects zipping through our communities, guys, because that's what they're doing. And look, if you look at a lot of the clips online, a lot of the UFO clips that you think maybe or might not be real or may be real, a lot of them you can see power lines in the clip. They're not being filmed extremely high up, guys. These things are getting close to us. So look, keep filming, keep that in mind. Like and subscribe, comment, let me know all your thoughts. I really do believe Trump is going to disclose this year. Remember a few weeks ago how I was saying it's going to be sooner rather than later? Well, Mark Christopher Lee has just confirmed my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much. Take care. All the best. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.